Hello, this is Elliott Wave. Today is Friday, the 1st of August, and the US market opens in 15 minutes. So by the time you're watching this, it's probably just right after the open. And as you can see, we're going to take a look at the S&P now. Yes, we moved back into trading view, which something I didn't want to do, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I just don't like the labeling, basically the size of the waves. Anyways, if you're new, welcome. What we're looking at is one of the scenarios, long-term scenarios, which is possible. Is this 1 2 1 2 1 2? Now, many of you know me as a big fan of 1 2s 1 2s. Now, as I always say, this is the American stock market. In history, if you ever were to bet against the American stock market in the long term, you would have lost. So it's okay to be conservative. I will recognize the fact this is an aggressive count to the upside, but if you long term you want to bet against the US, you're probably on the wrong side of the bet. Now, that being said, there are some alternative counts. Before we go into the intraday, I'll show you a couple. So let me do this, and this. Perfect. So one of them, which I actually just reviewed today after quite some time, which is this one. 1 2 1 2 3 4 sideways crappy, you could say shitty 4. It's my channel, I can say whatever. Up in 5 of minor 3, down in 4, and up in 5 of potential intermediate 3. Now, what is good and what it isn't about this count? Well, what is good is, I mean, you can count 5 ways into this intermediate wave 3. Now we have to go back to the old tools. So if we want to measure relationship between 3 and 1, we have equality at $7,600, obviously. So we still have quite some potential upside room to go, which in the grand scheme of things, for this count, it's not ideal. Why? Because if I'm looking for upside into wave 5 and I'm saying, okay, I'm looking for equality to be met, but then as you will see, in the short term, I'm forecasting a top soon to be. So what I'm saying is, if I'm looking for upside towards 7,600, but my, let's say, short-term prediction forecasts a limited upside to, let's say, below 7,000, then they don't match. The two scenarios don't match. So most likely, one of them has to be wrong. It's just a matter of which one. And clearly, if I knew, I wouldn't be telling you, and I wouldn't be here. But at least we know that in the grand scheme of things, we're aware that if we are going up, further up, as you will see, I'll show you the intraday count that I have, then the intraday count must be wrong, and vice versa. If the intraday count is correct, then this longer term-ish scenario must be wrong. Okay, so, and that's one way to look at it. Now again, as you can see, now this switched to a wave 3 and 4, because again, I have different long-term scenarios, but that's not the video I am going to be making. So that being said, let's focus on the intraday, because I'm sure you're curious. So back to the first count you witnessed. There you go. Top in 1, downside in 2, which is in line with many different stocks, which you can find the video on the channel. So if you remember, I had a slightly different count. So I see two different scenarios, major scenarios. One of them is a 1 2 1 2, which is obviously the one you're looking at right now. Now the big question is this top in place? As you know my answer, I have no idea. But we are trying to give an educated answer in today's video. That's what we're going to try to make. Now, you can look at momentum. Momentum is diminishing, which is something we want to see if we want a top in place, but it doesn't mean we have a top in place. So the fact that, let me align for you, the fact that momentum is diminishing, as you can see on the RSI, Relative Strength Index, we make lower highs on the RSI, but higher highs on price. It's usually referred to as divergence. I haven't showed in the channel in a while. It is a sign that something could be cooking, but it doesn't. This doesn't mean much in and itself, because it could easily now skyrocket. So that's one thing, but still, it's something that we should be considering. Now, volume, which is not available on the cash market, so we'll look at it in just a second. Before we do that, this is a count. Now, the other count would be basically a truncated fifth into wave 1, which is kind of something we have. If you look at stocks like Nvidia and some other which I don't remember, but what I do cover in the top 7 stocks in the Nasdaq, you can see a truncated fifth scenario available. Now I'll highlight the truncation for you here. 3, 4, 5. There you go. Again, truncation and wave 5s are pretty rare, but still possible. Now, what is good about this count? So this count clearly suggests that we have a wave 1 in place. Wave 1 of minor 3, which I'll show you once again as I zoom out. Wave 1 of, see here, minor 2 of minor 3. Meaning we have, in the long term, in the grand scheme, much more upside to go. Okay, now again, same subdivision here. I don't know if you just heard that thunder, but it's summer, so nothing unusual. Great. I'll fix a folder later so I don't waste your time. So this is also possible. Ideally, so there's also another different scenario, slightly different. It basically suggests we have a truncation, then 2, and we have topped in wave 3 of 1, okay? So we have, or we are near top in wave 3, okay? Basically this. For minute. One. There you go. Okay, so that's also possible. The difference would be that you kind of need to review your count. I mean, by mine. To fit for this, which is actually kind of makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 micro. You could even have one more top to go. It depends on if we stop the pullback soon, and by soon I mean today. Okay, so if we don't break this, then we could actually have one more top. One more top in place. Okay. Perfect. So, those are the scenarios. We are going to look at volume right now. Okay, so as you can see here, it's already been validated, and the market opens in 7 minutes. So I doubt, actually, I'll rephrase it. I mean, unless we get, oh, and you know what? I'll leave it, but this is basically invalidated already, okay? Just so you know. Volume, and then we're done. So daily. So we do have increase in volume, which does suggest something could be in place, okay? Expected. It's August, so people tend to sell in August. So it basically goes in line with what we're forecasting here. Nothing crazy. For the long term, I remain extremely bullish, but I'm happy to be proven wrong by the market. But until I'm proven wrong, I don't think there's any reason not to be bullish. Okay, so this is like the most not the most conservative, but this is like the conservative count in this bullishness. This is like almost there, and then that's it. Any questions? Let me know in the comments. See you in the Discord if you want. Beware scammers, and thank you for watching.